That movie fucking ruined me. I am crushed. This is going to be very somber, so if you're not in the mood for something sad, I'd suggest you keep scrolling. I'm talking about The Worst Person in the World, a 4.5 out of 5-star movie. I fucking loved it. It was one of the 50 to 60 best movies I've ever seen in my life. Maybe even higher. I'm gonna have to go through the list. But I am crushed. I am completely crushed. It was the most devastating thing I have ever seen. In a movie, at least. It's the most powerful thing I've seen in a long time. It's probably my second favorite movie of last year, right behind Licorice Pizza now. And that's saying something because Licorice Pizza is a very happy movie. And that movie made me feel good about myself and my love life and the people surrounding me. And then this movie said, fuck all of that happiness. Let's just take it and let's just snap it in half. It is gut punch after gut punch. It's directed by Joachim, so the third movie in the Oslo series. And by gut punch, I mean that he takes really big concepts and ideas and he puts them into such small packaging. Like the sentences in this, there's so many one-liners that are just the most devastating things you ever heard. It's like he's pulling from each of our subconsciouses and he's actually putting it into writing and then putting it in an actor's mouth. And that's the other thing, is these actors don't feel like actors. It feels so lived in and real. It's not melodramatic, because melodramatic, you can tell they're acting. This is like a true drama, like a grade A Ingmar Bergman type of drama. And I hope I'm not, I think I teeter on the edge or the line of pretentiousness. I hope I'm not too much, but I just don't really know how to articulate what I'm feeling, so I'm going to do my best. But this is why I love movies, because it makes you feel so firmly, such distinct feelings that most other things can't. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I've been communicating this to a lot of people recently. People have been asking me, what movie should I watch tonight? And it's like, well, that's difficult. Like, so tell me the genre you like. But I think the best way to communicate it is, if you love a movie, find out who the director is, and then watch the rest of their movies, because maybe you'll like the other ones. Like if you like Fight Club, then go to David Fincher and watch The Social Network and watch Gone Girl and Zodiac and all of those movies, because I'm sure that you'll find common themes and threads in them that you appreciate. So that's what I'm going to do with Joachim Trier, because I love this movie and I'm going to watch the rest of his movies now. That's just kind of how I operate, and I think that's how other people should look at movies as well. My best friend Hado warned me that this was a bleak movie, but wow, I didn't know it was this bleak. I mean, I haven't felt this way since Fleabag. If you know me, you know and understand that I really, really loved Fleabag. It meant a lot to me at a specific part in my life. And this movie is finding me at a good part in my life. Like, I feel very happy with where I'm at and all that kind of stuff, but it still has the ability to just knock you off your feet. And that's the power of movies. So the story is about a young woman who does not know where she's headed. We meet her in college, in graduate school. She is studying to become a surgeon, and then she decides surgery isn't really for her. She's more interested in the mind and the soul, so she wants to become a psychologist. And then she takes a step down and wants to become a photographer. So she doesn't know where she's headed, who she is, or what she's really even doing. And that kind of theme lasts throughout the movie, and I think it lasts throughout a lot of people's lives. She meets one guy, and then she meets another, and then something inevitably occurs. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've seen the trailer, then I'm sure you know what that is. But I just want to talk about the big ideas really quick, because these are the gut punches I'm talking about. So the unpredictability and the shortness of life happens in a blink. Next thing you know, and I'm treading in spoiler territory, and I don't spoil anything in these reviews, so I'm not going to even spoil it. But then there's also this internal dialogue of not knowing how we feel. And this kind of came across to me was like when you see a very young person, or when we're children, we know exactly how we feel, and we're frustrated by it if we're angry, or we're very, very happy when we're happy. And then sometimes as you get older, you just don't know how you feel. Like, you're a little bit curious and you need to delve deeper and kind of figure it out, and it takes a longer amount of time. Having children, that's a very big subject in this movie. The idea that, when you meet somebody and you fall in love, that you kind of put on an act for them because you want to be the person that you were when they first met you. And maybe you first met them when you were drunk. So it's kind of not fair to you to behave in that way, because that's not the real you. what role art plays in our life and whether or not it's worth it. This one really hit me because I love movies. I've been doing these movie reviews for I don't know how long, about 3 months now. So it was an interesting concept to look at, especially at the end of somebody's life. And then the biggest idea that is in the trailer even is being a spectator in our own lives. A role player, a supporting actor, chasing that carrot like a rabbit and never being able to really get it because it's an inevitable impossibility in a way. So really committing to your life and not just your work and money and your salary and your status and all of that kind of stuff. So this was it was shocking how good it was. I went in with really high expectations and it beat them. The only thing that's really keeping it away from 5 stars for me was the almost panic attack that I had during a scene where they eat magic mushrooms. So that kind of held me back a little bit. I wish that wouldn't have been in the movie, but it's told in 12 chapters. So if I ever decide to rewatch it, I guess I can just skip that chapter, which is nice. But yes, please go see this movie. The barrier of subtitles is something that I struggle with. I'm not gonna lie. This movie is in Norwegian, I believe. But it's something that I struggle with too. But I think once you get past that barrier, you can find movies that you really, really love. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen Parasite. So they are worth your time, sincerely. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back later this week to talk about the last part of the Kanye documentary and then also the Batman as well. And those will not be as sad as this, I hope. So thank you guys for tapping in once again. I appreciate it so much. Much love. Go see The Worst Person in the World. Don't see it with a girlfriend or boyfriend.